to Once Upon a Town. I'm Joe Landry, and with me is Scott Mason.
Hi, folks.
Hi. So today we're going to talk about our favorite subject in Franklin, the Joseph G. Ray swimming pool, but we called it the town pool. So a lot of my sources are the Franklin Register, which was the town's first newspaper, the Franklin Sentinel, which was the newspaper from 1878 up till 1978, the Stanley Chilson collection of films and pictures, and we're going to see some of the films, Sanborn Fire Insurance maps, sometimes we use those. There's one book that you really should get a copy of, and that's Franklin from Puritan Precinct to 21st Century Edge City. Amy McCarthy Earls wrote it. It's an excellent book, and I've got some information out of that. And personal pictures and postcards that people have shared with me. So I get all kinds of good information from people, and it's really helpful. And of course, the Franklin Historical Museum. That's where we get a lot of good things. They have a second Sunday series there, and it's a good place to go. So, Joseph Gordon Ray, who was he? He was the man for whom the town pool was named after. He was married twice. His first wife was Martha Pember Ray, and his second wife was Bessie Kent Ray. And he was the son of one of the three Smith, I was going to say the Smith brothers.
They look like the Smith brothers.
No, the Ray brothers. The three sons of Joseph and Lydia Payne Ray. They lived to maturity.
Joseph looks like Lincoln a little.
I know it, huh? Yeah.
Doesn't he look like?
A
Yeah.
little bit, yeah.
Yes.
But they all had beards back then, yeah. Yep, James Ray, Francis Ray, and Joseph Ray. Now the Ray family obviously is a very important family in Franklin, and the first, here's a little family tree of the whole family. There were three members of the Ray family who were named Joseph Gordon Ray. So I wanted to try to eliminate a little confusion because even I was confused. I kept saying Joseph Gordon Ray, and there's three of them. So I underlined the three of them. The one in red is the one that we're going to be talking about today. So in September of 1814, Joseph Gordon Ray married Lydia Payne Ray, and they settled in Mendon, Massachusetts. They had a total of 6 children, but 3 of them died at an early age, infants. And then 3 lived to maturity. Those are the 3 brothers that we saw, James, Francis, and Joseph. Now Lydia and Annie, they were the 2 daughters of the Joseph Ray, let's see, down there. He's the one that married Emily Rockwood Ray. And Lydia and Annie are the ones that contributed the money that built the Franklin Library, the Ray Memorial Library, and other buildings as well, too.
Now, interestingly enough, and a little off topic,
Oh, that's okay.
but you were completely right. Now, we had a second Sunday speaker at the Historical Museum this
right.
past Sunday, and the gentleman did a presentation on antique license plates. And he actually did the research to determine who the first person in Franklin was to register an automobile. And their last name was Rockwood. And Joe, you had mentioned that you thought that was a maiden name of in this case, two folks
them, right,
that married Ray boys. But they the Rockwood family lived on Emmons Street, where Dr. Mercer's office used to be.
That's right. And of course, the 2 Ray buildings right downtown on Main Street, they were there too. So they were kind of all in that little area right there. Yep. Oops. So in 1934, the Franklin Sentinel reported that Joseph Ray's widow, Bessie, wanted to donate a strip of land to the town for a swimming pool. Now this land was at the rear of the Matthew Van Leeuwen Continental Nurseries that was on West Central Street. And there was a big size, a good sized pond back there. It was called Ford's Pond. And that pond had been a popular swimming place for many years. It was about 200 feet by 125 feet, and it was fed by springs. The pond was connected to Beaver Brook, and that ran through the Continental Nursery property and went under West Central Street and over to a mill pond.
That picture's incredible. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know it's all grown in now. Yeah. You're going to see that later, too. Like, this is 1935 or 1940 right here, but a lot of the trees and everything grew in afterwards. Oh, absolutely, yeah. So the pool was created when a dam was constructed at one end of the pond. That would be that dam right there, the wall. This provided deeper water for the more experienced swimmers, and the other end was shallow. And we're going to talk more about that in a minute. It was all part of the pond, the original pond. And they did that because the shallow end on the other end was to provide more safety for the non-swimmers. And then across the street across West Central Street, this is where that Mill Pond was. That pond was created. They had a dam on the the pond was created when a dam was constructed on Mine Brook. That's what it was. And in the 1950s, the dam was destroyed by flooding, and then that meant that the pond returned to marsh and woodlands, which it is today. Now here's a really good picture that I got. It was aerial view. You can see the town pool, and you can see the Continental Nurseries, right? And then a closer view of the pool. It shows there were 3 streets to get there. Raymond Street was at one point of entry. Then you took a left on Edwards, and then up to Ponton Avenue. And yeah, remember those? Yeah.
I
Right.
don't.
You don't remember that?
Being able to drive and park right there, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we'll talk about the other side, where Panther Way is.
Yeah.
That was a gravel road. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah. But here's what it looks like today. And this is Google Earth. You know what strikes me about this picture? Now there's the dealership, Joe Vendetti's dealership, and then the plaza. Very few cars in the dealership. And did that dealership close at one point and they had no cars there? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Maybe
No, he redid it. Didn't he redo the whole place?
he probably did. Although,
He
Yeah.
revamped,
okay.
yeah, he
Yep.
built I'm
Right.
pretty sure.
But the only other thought I had was maybe it was winter time and they knew a big snowstorm was coming and got all the cars out of there.
Well,
You know, that's one thought I
but
had.
this is summer though in that
It's
picture.
summer, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. Summer, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I found that odd, but there it is. So you can see So
Yeah, look
Yep.
at that.
now here's what I did. Here's a straight down view, and you can see where the pool was,
Yeah.
and actually it still is kind of in Sculpture Park. But anyway, and you can see where the road was. Yep. Then the Continental Nurseries. Matthew Van Leeuwen was the man that ran that, and that was right on 140 West Central Street. And a big nursery. It's like a hillside nursery or whatever. Yeah. Now, how many remember this building?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right on the corner of Raymond Street. But that's back in the 1930s when it was a gas station, a filling station.
That concrete retaining wall to the right there, you can see a little bit of the edge of it sticking up, is still there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
White House is, and then it's got a little white.
To the so the White House is actually to the right of where that, actually right behind that fire truck.
Yeah. Then here's another view looking at it. You can see Raymond Street on the left. Then there's West Central Street and Beaver Street right there.
It doesn't feel like it was that long ago that building was torn down, but I know it's
Right.
been probably 40 years or
Oh,
even
yeah.
probably longer than that.
Right. And then it was used as an antique store, and that's what I remember.
Yep.
It was like, yeah.
The swap shop.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember all the old typewriters.
Oh, yeah.
As I used to walk by there on my way to the town pool
Yeah.
in the morning and look in the window, and there was always antique typewriters in there.
Then in 1963, Continental Nurseries went away, and they built the plaza that's there today. That spot right there is where the Franklin Pantry is.
the
Food
food
pantry
pantry,
is
yep.
today. Used to be
Edmonds.
Edmonds. That's right.
Yep.
You know, but that's Raymond Street right there.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah,
about
sure.
that? I've always been curious. Did Jean Edwin, did she donate that to the town, or did the town buy that from her?
What was her name?
Neither.
Neither?
So she sold it to the food pantry.
Oh, she sold it to
Yes.
Oh, Edmonds. Oh.
Yeah. So my wife is the executive director of the food pantry.
Okay.
So they had been looking for space for a number of years. They had outgrown their space
Right.
where the bank is.
Right.
And when that building had been sitting there unoccupied for about 2 years, and
Right.
they started talking, and she gave them a really good price on it. She was
'Cause I
incredibly
noticed
generous.
It still says like Home of Edwin, like it
Yes.
still has Edwin's incorporated into the building.
Sure, they wanted to honor the memory
Of
of
course,
him
course,
and
I was just
and
curious
and
about that.
yeah.
That's- Okay, perfect.
And then that's what it looks like today. They blocked it off, and that arrow is pointing to the little ramp that's there. So the only way to get into Raymond Street is you go into the parking lot, and you can go up that way.
Right,
And then they also extended Edwards Street over to Panther Way.
right.
That wasn't there before, so you could kind of go in that way too. And then here's Panther Way. That was taken recently. That's where that gravel road was. A lot of people remember, like I remember, we'd walk down that. We'd be at the pool and want an ice cream, so we'd walk down that gravel road in bare feet, and go to that was the Dairy Freeze, I think it was, right there where that little white building is. You can get ice cream there. So yeah. And how many remember the China Crown restaurant? Yeah. Oh yeah. And then before that, it was called Brookside. And the people that owned Brookside eventually took over made the Caravan restaurant just up the street.
Yeah, I miss the Caravan.
Oh yeah.
Was that like Kentucky Fried Chicken too?
No,
Is that
that's.
the place? China Crown.
China Crown, right? Yep.
You don't remember China Crown?
Oh yeah.
Write it down.
We could only get Chinese food once a year, and it was on New Year's Day. And that's.
There you go.
Where was that though?
Right on the corner of West Central and Panther Way.
Where Vendetti's is.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. See, that's where Panther Way is, right there. The CVS is off to the left over here. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It was right where Vendetti's is. Yeah, I remember that.
And judging from those prices of the gas, I think that picture was probably the early 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in later years, in 1935, there was an average of 250 to 300 people that used the pool every day. The American Red Cross provided swimming instructors throughout the activities through the activities of the ERA. The ERA stood for the Emergency Relief Act, and then later it was known as the WPA. That would be the Works Progress Administration, and each town got some money, and they said spend it, for something, and so the town chose to spend the money for the town pool. And who remembers them? Or at least her, anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In 1938, 2 permanent lifeguards were chosen by the selectmen. The woman is Lorraine Metcalf. She gave swimming lessons to generations of the youth of Franklin for over 40 years. Imagine that? Yep. She retired in 1970 from that. She's most remembered for the way she'd yell out, "Roll over," and "Kick, kick, kick."
Oh, yeah.
Oh. The other lifeguard is Howard Landry, a member of the faculty of Franklin High. Now, Landry. Now, my family, my grandfather came from a family of 13. He was the youngest. And of those 13, they spelt their names a different way for whatever reason. I won't get into the real nuts and bolts of that, but basically, a couple of his siblings spelt it Landry, Landry. Some of them spelt it Laundry. Some of them spelt it Landre or Laundre, and one brother actually spelt it Landrie.
Wow.
So
Everyone's trying to one up each other.
I know it. I think there was some sibling rivalries or discomfort going on there, but
Any chance it was maybe the precursor to the Witness Protection Program?
maybe. But my grandfather was adamant. It's Landry, Landry. So anyway, but he was related. He was like a cousin. So, yeah. Now this picture is from 1937, and the arrow's showing the shallow end of the pool. And you can kind of see, like, it's what goes into the woods, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be up there.
No,
you don't want to go down
that's
there.
where the inflow was. There were 2 streams that came from like this angle and fed that town pool water. The one as you're looking at it, the one to the right actually ended up, there was an underground stream, but it was actually also runoff from the drainage from the new high school. or in our case, now the old high school.
Oh, that's right, 1962. Yeah,
yeah.
that's when I graduated from.
Yeah. So, you know, in the early '70s when they were building the new high school, and they put up the gutters and the downspouts, all that water fed into the town pool.
Oh boy.
I remember saying, stay away from that area, because that's where the snapping turtles are.
And you weren't wrong. There were absolutely snapping turtles in there.
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to go to that.
My dad used to say to us, stay, don't go near, the snapping
right.
turtles will get you.
And other assorted creatures too, too numerous to mention.
Yeah.
Well, hey, there was, you know. I mean, yeah. Now, in 1938, they made some major upgrades to the pool. Yep, they put another wall and dam on that end of the pool, and that's there to this day. And then they brought in truckloads of sand, dumped and spread into the pool. And we're going to actually see Stanley show some films of them doing that in a minute. They created the gravel road from West Central Street to the pond, the pool on the other side. And they ran a 3-inch water pipe from West Central Street up to the pool. And then they ran, then there was a water pipe. Now this is interesting. The water pipe was added to feed fresh water to the pool. Okay, and that pipe was on the side, and we'll talk about that in a minute too. And then they had a water fountain and a shower.
That big one?
Oh, you're going to see that, yeah, but it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't actually built there originally. We'll talk about that, but it was built over by the wall. But in later years, they actually moved it out. In fact, it was the next year. Yeah.
So I just want to point out that truckloads of sand is, you know, maybe a little bit of a stretch. That was, and folks, disagree with me if you want, that was not sand, that was dirt.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There's probably the farthest thing from beach sand.
Well, true. Yeah.
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 I
Well,
remember too, like if you wore a light colored bathing suit when you came home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. They actually installed a water fountain and a shower in the bathhouse, and then Beaver Brook was grubbed and cleaned. So, the costs for doing this, the federal was $4,387.41. The town kicked in $1,902, the total of $6,200.87. Now, here we go.
Yeah.
In August of 1939, there was a severe drought in Franklin, and they found it necessary to close the pool. Normally, fresh water was pumped into the pool from a pipe near the shore to freshen the water. And they did that because they were putting in fresh water after hundreds of people had bathed in it from the morning until night. So they were adding fresh water to kind of freshen the water. I always thought, well, are they adding chemicals or whatever? It was the town was adding town water to the pool to freshen it. Right. But they said, you know, because of the drought, the parched land took up the water as rapidly as it was pumped in. So the water department, they weren't too concerned about it, but they felt that it was an unnecessary waste of water to continue to do that, during the drought anyway. So they shut the pool down and they emptied it. And while it was emptied, that's when they moved it out to that spot right there. Oh. Yeah. And you can see they had this T on the top. Later on, you'll see in a minute, they redid the top. But you're going to actually see the kid that's climbing it. You're actually going to see him up on the minute. Yeah.
Well, I'm laughing for two reasons. One, because that pipe was always crooked.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, but
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
but the other thing is, and this is a great presentation, but I can't
thanks.
believe we actually swam there.
I know it. Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like a nice blue water there, but we knew better. Yeah. Oop. Oh, there we go. Now, here we go. We're going to show you some films from Stanley Chilson's collection. This is April of 1938. This is when the construction began. Look at these guys with
It's gonna take a while.
yeah, right. It makes you wonder, what are they doing? I mean, wow. Look at them all. And think of it, now this is 1938, the middle of the Depression. I mean, obviously these guys are getting paid, but wow.
Why? I wonder.
I don't know, yeah.
WPA workers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
WPA, right. But you can see the wall starting to take shape and the little dam in the middle. I mean, the dam.
He looks happy.
I know it. Well, they're probably happy to just make a living.
Exactly, especially just at that time.
I know it. Yep, there's the wall. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've done over the years. I'm sure they coated it because it looks nice and like cement now, but there it was like rocks. Yeah. Unbelievable, huh? Just trucking it away.
Notice the lack of any kind of heavy machinery.
Oh,
No
You know,
kidding.
Well,
a
that's
couple,
it.
you know, a bulldozer and a front loader would have been pretty helpful.
Absolutely, yeah. That's all manual
Picking
labor.
up rocks, yeah.
And the quantity of men too. Look at them all.
That guy's smiling in the middle, but you notice he's doing literally nothing.
And then when the work continued, and here they must be doing cement. Yeah, you're making cement there, sifting the sand. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the guy, the mason right there.
They were, well, at least one thing, it looks like fall or like the end of winter because
Yeah.
they're not.
Oh, this is April.
There's no leaves and stuff.
Yeah, this is April.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's April. Yeah.
Sorry.
Look at this guy.
Nothing on his face.
I know. Yeah.
He's having too much fun.
And there's sand / dirt.
Under the building.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Look at those steps out. Those steps are probably not there anymore.
There were remnants of steps there
Oh, were they? Oh,
into
okay.
the 70s because I
Oh.
can remember them. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right, yeah.
A lot of rocks there. They did a lot of work.
How long did the construction process take from start to finish?
Well, I assume April when they started, and maybe even March. And by May, they were filling the pool up. You'll see that in a minute.
Wow,
Yep.
that's impressive.
Yeah, well, all those men, yeah. Look at all those rocks. Huh.
Why does it say Cook, Plow, and?
Those three guys right there.
Oh,
Yeah, once in a while, Stanley Chilson, if he knew the people that were in the, he's photographing, he would put their names. So,
Wonder if it's the cook from Cook's Farm. the
could be,
ancestor.
could be, yeah.
I miss Cook's Farm.
I know.
Yeah, huh?
I do too. That was such a fun place.
It's long gone now.
I know it.
Yep. And as you say, look at all the Panther Way is there now, the police station, the high school, Eaton Place, all those
rink.
things. Yeah, the skating rink. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where the condos are, right there?
Yeah, up in what Edgewood or is that what they call that?
Highwood.
Yeah, up
Highwood,
there.
yeah.
Highway. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. Here's where they were filling the pool. Took about 3 or 4 days to do this.
That's snow. It looks like snow.
Yeah.
I think it's the sand.
Yeah. That's in black and white. Yeah, that's the sand on the beach. Yeah.
These films are still such in pristine condition.
I know it. Yeah.
Really, the detail is amazing.
Yeah. You're gonna love this. That's Johnny Cataldo.
Oh my God.
and that's his daughter. Her name was Florence Swanbeck, and I actually saw her on
Swanbeck's
I saw her on Facebook, and she
grandmother or
hey,
something?
look, she's texting somebody.
Yes, Jerry
She's
does.
texting someone.
I didn't know they had cell phones in 1938.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, that's her. That's
She was
Lorraine.
looking at some kind of book.
Yeah, that's Lorraine. But anyway, that's John Cataldo. He was a selectman in Franklin.
Yeah,
That's so neat.
Yeah, that was his daughter. Yeah.
Jerry does.
Look at this picture. Oh, actually, I think that's a video. Yeah. Now, you know what strikes me? Look at these kids and everything. Look at how thin they are and everything.
I know,
You know,
right?
they were all healthy. They're out there. You
Absolutely.
know.
I can see about 24 safety violations.
Uh-oh.
Look at the girls. They know they're on camera.
Oh yeah. They're like, "Yeah, what's this guy doing? Yeah. You can see that a lot with Stanley Chilson's films. They look at him, and they're going like this here, you know. Oh no, not him again.
Well, it's still a little bit of a novelty in those days.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
know. Look at him. He's like,
Yeah.
what are you?
yeah.
So cute.
But some of these the kids diving off the diving board.
Holding their nose.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, some of these, like they're in the Olympics. I mean, they're really good.
Well, whatever that thing is to the right there, that's not a diving board. It looks
No,
like
it looks like a pipe.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Oh, the ladder. That's the ladder that'll
Well,
get back up.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the color film.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that. Look at these kids. I mean, that's quality diving.
Yeah.
Look at the cars too, huh?
Yeah.
So this is just colored over.
No, he took some color. He finally around 1940. This is about 1942, I think. He finally took a lot of color films. One thing I always worry about is that
You
make
don't see one like overweight.
you don't.
You
No.
don't. And they're so fit.
Yeah. And
Because everybody
Because we
worked.
played outside back then.
that's right. Yeah.
Even
too,
then,
but
yeah.
yeah.
Well, the
they-
food, the kind of food they were eating too.
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
nowadays,
It was all
Farm
farms.
stuff, yeah.
I always worry that the
There was
kids.
no such thing as preservatives back then.
That's right. I always worry that the kids that's diving are not making sure that there's no kids in the water. They're crashing into them as they hit the water.
Well, it's interesting that
I'm surprised how risque the bathing suits were back then.
Yeah.
Not risque, but like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah,
in the very early
showing a lot more
70s,
skin than I suspect.
Yeah.
yeah.
in the very early 70s, they had a real bad problem with bacteria in that water. And they finally decided they were just going to drain it,
Oh, there we go. Look at see,
There he is.
drain it and start over. And when we had been diving, the diving board was no longer there, but we used to dive off of the wall in swimming lessons. And when they drained it, there was a shopping cart from First National supermarkets on the bottom, like right underneath where we were diving.
sir.
Oh yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
Here we see you're going to see Lorraine actually teaching, and
Oh, I love it.
oh, you're going to see this. There she is, and you know what those kids are doing.
There's a street
Kick,
in
kick,
my
kicking.
neighborhood
Oh,
named
yeah.
After her, Lorraine Metcalf.
Oh yeah. You can hear it now. Kick, kick, kick. But you're gonna see the kids rolling over in a minute.
Oh yeah.
Practicing their diving. Yeah. Oh yeah. Think about it. This is not in the 40s, and we remember when she was teaching us. Imagine that. Whoa.
She's got the whistle. Did you see her with the whistle?
Oh, did she? Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
she's got it around her neck. See it? And then she was
Oh
blowing.
yeah.
Dog in the water. You wouldn't see that today.
Yeah, there they are, rolling over. Roll over.
Yep. Kick, kick.
Yeah. (1942),
Oh,
practicing their diving. I see some kids belly flop right in, hit the water, boom. Yep. You're supposed to dive head first, not feet first. Oh no. In 1962, the Mills brothers came to town, and she was able to borrow one of the elephants so that the children could see an elephant up close and personal.
Awesome.
for many of the children, it's probably the first time they'd ever seen one. I'm sure she didn't really yell roll over, because imagine if she did the elephant start rolling over. Whoa!
I was telling my husband about that. He's like, I find that hard to believe. I'm like, it happened.
Oh yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
need to
He didn't even, he couldn't believe like there was a big pond back there that we all swam in.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't take a picture of it. I think it's on Facebook somewhere.
Is it?
Yeah.
Aw.
That's a cute. I don't know where I got that from Facebook or somewhere. The cute kids, yeah. Yep. Now in later years, they took down the wooden bathhouse, and they built that, I guess, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, you remember that, huh?
That's all I remember.
Yeah.
That's what that's all I remember.
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well,
I mean, it looks like a big stone. They must have put that in front of the doorway, did they?
They wanted to seal up the tomb, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was bathrooms in there.
3 days later, no.
Yeah. Yep.
Look at that, huh? Unbelievable.
Yeah. It was damp and it smelled bad.
Ugh. Ugh. Now, in the early 70s, the J. Walter Chilson Town Beach had been established, and both the town pool and the Chilson Beach were the town swimming locations. However, it was during this time that vandalism had really become a big problem at the town pool, and it was costing the town a lot of money to fix the damage every year. I mean, the kids would just keep going in there and ruining things. So by the 1980s, the town made the decision to stop supporting it, and they closed up the town pool, and the Chilson Beach became the beach of choice. So let's look at the town pool then and now. That's what it looked like back then. And from the same place, roughly, that's what it looks like today.
They did such a nice job.
They
I
did.
I walk through there at least once a week.
Yeah, oh yeah.
With my dog. Yep.
Yeah, you can see they put this berm of land right here to kind of, you know, the beach actually came up more like this, but
Yep.
to provide like a walking trail.
Yep.
So the pool was actually a little bit larger there.
Right.
And then when we saw that, and that's what that looks like today. I took these about even 2018, 2019. They've really made it a lot nicer since then. I probably should update the pictures, but this is about 5-6 years ago. And that was when they were refilling the pool. And then, of course, that's what it looks like today. And then again, you can see that berm. And all the trees grown in. Remember we were talking about that, all the extra trees and everything.
I know it.
Yeah. And of course, so that pipe. And it was still there at the time I took the picture. Now it's gone now, but that's what's left of it.
Huh.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I said, wow, we're going to get a picture of that.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, they did. And you can see the wall. Look at how nice that wall looks. You can tell at some point when they had the pool empty, they just recoated it, whatever, and made it look really nice.
So those stairs that we saw earlier were right
Oh, okay.
going up the side of that hill there. And
Oh,
there's the
yeah.
police station in the background.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then there's that. And today is that. Yeah. Yeah, there's the police station up in there.
Mhm.
Yeah. One last look back.
Is that really you?
That's me, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I
That
think
is so awesome.
I think the thing on the
many
T
faces of a knucklehead.
that says it all, doesn't it?
I call my husband a knucklehead at least once a day.
Oh yeah, well, he and I are Three Stooge fanatics, so.
I do. I call everybody knucklehead.
Oh yeah.
And my father, I got that from my dad.
So funny.
So I found the approximate place where that picture was taken.
Oh,
I said,
did
you know,
really?
I went over and I put a blanket down. I said,
That's so awesome.
feet haven't changed much.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's in pretty good shape.
So as a show of hands, how many people swam there?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
So we can call this the first meeting of the survivors.
There you go. Right.
You know, there's so many stories I think the people that swam there have that have nothing to do with, you know, the legend of rollover and kick.
Oh God, yeah. I'm sure you got a few.
Well, you know, we were talking earlier about the infestation of snapping turtles. This was a live body of water that was fed from one end and flowed out of the other end, and you know, nature was going to do what it did. There were always snapping turtles in there, but there were also snakes. We'd mentioned earlier before we started shooting crayfish. I had a friend who used to go back and catch crayfish. I had a neighbor who was back there one day, and he was, I don't even know what he was doing, but we were young kids, so you didn't necessarily have to have a reason for doing anything. You just did things. And he put his hand in the water, and he started screaming, and he pulled it out, and there was a black snake that had got him here and was hanging off, and blood, the whole thing. No, that was, I'm pretty sure that was the last time he did that.
Wow.
Does anybody remember, I think it was 1974 or 75, there was a gentleman that drowned in there one August day. And the water was so, if you stuck your hand 6 inches in the water, you couldn't see your hand. It took them several hours to find this poor guy. But I had been swimming there earlier that afternoon.
Oh, wow.
And so
How old was he?
he was an adult. He was, probably in his 30s. So I was probably 11 or
What do you think
12.
happened? Do you think like he got stuck in the mud or something?
I don't think they ever knew, but I remember it was extremely hot. It was August, and for a few days that place was just body, elbow to elbow in there. So who knows? Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Wow.
That's so cool. I love that.
That's the actual picture there.
Yeah.
You see I think it's a Studebaker up there in
On the right, yeah.
Yeah.
How old were you there?
I'm thinking about 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really
Do
early.
you remember it? Do you remember having that picture taken?
Vaguely, I remember that. Yeah. I think it was my older brother who had brought the camera there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the J. Walter Chilson Memorial Beach at Beaver Pond. Yep. In 1972, the J. Walter Chilson Beach was opened on Beaver Pond. It is named for James Walter Chilson. He was the son of James Carlton Chilson. That made him the first cousin of Stanley Chilson. Now, J. Walter was actually married to Marion Chilson, and she was a famous woman around town for many reasons. So 1972 was the first year that the two swimming areas were staffed by the town. It was hoped that the swimming lessons could be held at Chilson Beach, but they found that a closer examination showed the slope of the water's edge dropped off too sharply to make it feasible. So they kept the town pool open for that. Yeah. And there's the sign there. Yeah. I took these about 7 or 8 years ago. Yeah. And there it is. By 1982, the town pool closed, and the Chilson Beach became the only swimming location that was supported by the town.
They did a nice job with that.
They did, yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, and of course now they got that the area with the soccer field and everything. They really have turned that whole thing around. Yeah.
I remember coming out of there like just covered in I don't know what. Completely, right? It was
Really?
Like oh yeah, slime. You could go like this and it was like that. I didn't
wow.
care. It was
Yeah.
hot. So
That was runoff from the dump. That's what that was.
Well, we were talking about
that's what happened to me.
What we used to take to the dump.
yes.
Batteries,
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
everything
Paint.
went to.
Oh,
yeah.
my husband had too. I'm like,
That's
man,
right.
Stuff
Like
Yeah.
This
I-
was like a dump
yeah.
at one time.
It was on the other side of Beaver Street, but still, I mean, it was.
Remember you drive by like in the heat of the
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
August,
so bad.
and it stunk so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's uphill from that body of water. So,
Yeah.
it all leached
I'm
in.
surprised we don't have like a third eye or
I
something.
know.
Well, I had mentioned before that I've pulled some bass out of that pond that don't look very good.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, any other questions or anything?
No.
No? Okay. Well,
Any questions?
I guess that's the end.
Oh my God, that was so
Yeah.
good.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, folks.
This program was made possible by your Franklin friends and neighbors, good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.